What if you could stop a health crisis with just a simple text message? Today, we're going to dive into a massive public health challenge. How do we get life-saving information to people who are completely cut off from the internet? And we're going to explore a really cool AI solution that's designed to do exactly that.
Okay, so I want you to really think about this for a second. Imagine you've got to get some urgent health advice out. Let's say there's an outbreak, and you need to reach millions of people fast. But here's the catch. A huge number of them have no reliable internet. So how in the world do you do that? This isn't just a hypothetical puzzle. It's a very real and very critical gap in public health today.
And yeah, this isn't just some thought experiment. This information gap has some pretty devastating, real-world consequences for communities all over the globe. So let's break down the specific challenges that actually create this problem.
You know, this gap is really created by a perfect storm of three big issues. First up, you've got delayed awareness. Official news and advice just doesn't travel fast enough to remote areas. Then, that problem gets way worse because of low internet access, which cuts people off from trusted online sources. And what rushes in to fill that void? You guessed it, unreliable and often flat-out dangerous misinformation.
This right here, this is the human cost of that information gap. When people can't get clear, verified information, they're left totally vulnerable. And this leads directly to diseases being detected too late, which means prevention goes out the window. It turns conditions that could have been easily treated into serious crises. It's a vicious cycle that desperately needs to be broken.
So, the big question is, how do we break that cycle? Well, this is where technology steps in. So let's meet parvaah, an AI-powered solution that's been designed specifically to be an ally for public health.
So what exactly is parvaah? Well, at its core, it's basically an AI health assistant that you can just talk to. The real key here is its simplicity. It works through the messaging apps that people already have and use every single day. So no new apps to download, no new accounts to create. It just delivers reliable health info and can even run you through an initial symptom check.
And here is where it gets really smart. Look at how it directly tackles each of those challenges we just talked about. To get around low internet access, it works on basic SMS, WhatsApp, or Telegram. To fight back against bad info, it plugs directly into official government health databases. And to crush that time delay, it offers instant symptom checking, giving people a crucial early warning to go see a doctor.
For the actual user, the whole process is as simple as sending a text. You just message your question or your symptoms. The AI analyzes it in seconds, and then, boom, you get a clear, verified answer right back on your phone. The real magic is that the whole thing just feels like a simple conversation, not like you're using some complex piece of tech.
So right, a simple conversation on the outside, but what's the engine that's running this whole thing? Let's take a quick peek under the hood at the tech that makes all this possible. Okay, now this tech might look a little complicated, but let's break it down. Think of the front end as the friendly face. That's what lets you talk to the system through WhatsApp. The back end, that's kind of the central nervous system that manages everything. Now the real magic, that's the AI layer. Tools like the OpenAI API act like a super smart translator that understands your questions in just plain normal language. And it's all built on the cloud, which means it can scale up from helping a tiny village to an entire country, like almost overnight.
The big takeaway here is that this isn't some far-off futuristic dream. It's incredibly doable right now. People are already using and trusting these messaging apps. It's way more cost-effective than printing out millions of flyers. And most importantly, all the technology at its core is mature and ready to go.
But you know, the impact here goes so much further than just a single chat. A tool like this can create a really powerful ripple effect, changing not just one person's health, but entire healthcare systems.
And these benefits really break down into three key areas. You've got these huge social and economic impacts, which are pretty evenly matched, but also a really interesting environmental win in there too. Let's dig into each one real quick.
So first up, the social impact. This is massive. By providing reliable 24/7 support right on someone's phone, you start to build genuine trust in digital healthcare. It makes health information feel personal and accessible, not like some distant bureaucratic system. And that's absolutely fundamental to getting people engaged in their own health.
Next up, the economic side of things is just huge. When people get information early and they're encouraged to seek preventative care, you start catching problems before they become severe and expensive. This seriously reduces the burden on the whole healthcare system, and that saves money for everyone in the long run. It's a classic case of an ounce of prevention being worth a pound of cure, right?
And finally, there's this environmental benefit that's actually pretty cool.
Think about all the paper that gets used in traditional public health campaigns. We're talking posters, flyers, pamphlets. Shifting to a digital-first, chat-based model dramatically cuts down on all that waste, making our health communication way more sustainable and eco-friendly.
Which, it leaves us with a really powerful final thought. As we look at these incredible new solutions, maybe the future of public health isn't about more complicated apps or flashier websites. Maybe it's about getting back to something much more fundamental, just a simple, trusted conversation. What do you think?